Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. A gloomy afternoon, everyone. Pero I hope at least na may enough energy for our tidbits today. So, a context tidbits is a learning session that was done previously. Focus niya mostly is either on the non-technical and technical skills. And for this time around, we're reviving it. KJC is reviving it, and I'll be one of the first, or if not the first, na speakers who will be doing the tidbits for today and for this year. So ayun. Yun. Okay. So my invitation was on the communication hacks, or essentially how to effectively communicate with your teammates. And my goal for this activity is really to break down the key elements of communication and just to identify what is effective communication. And I do believe na the team are already familiar with this. It's just that there are some problems or challenges that we face in our workplace. And yun, we'll be tackling, at least going over the top or the most common na mga challenges that we face. And I have some suggestions, mga techniques, aka mga hacks that could help and hopefully will help the team in improving their communication. And lastly, at the end of this training program, we'll be able to create, or at least the teams will be able to create some proposals on how to further improve our communication and establish a communication code. So that's it for our objectives for today. So once again, hello sa mga people here in the office and also in our virtual office. So um, make some noise or some reacts then in our virtual office. So yun. Ayan. Thank you very much. So, yun. So, our agenda for this program is first we'll be starting with an activity. Then I'll be breaking down some theoretical knowledge or insights on communication. And then we'll be discussing yung top challenges in our communication. And lastly, creating the code. So our agenda will hopefully align with our objectives. So to start, we will have the first activity. So we'll be calling this positive language. So instructions muna. This also includes the team members in the virtual office. Okay, so you'll be forming a group of 3, and then the goal of this activity is to use or make use of positive languages only. So what does that mean? So yung mga negative or any words na may connotation na negative, like not, without, nothing, those are discouraged rather. So, kunyari, don't give up. Bawal yon. I am not really confident with hiking. Bawal din yan kasi may not. She went to the mall without bringing her wallet. Another bawal din yun. So, yun. Once again, you'll be forming for a group of 3. The first, parang label niyang each other, first speaker, second speaker, and third speaker, and it will rotate naman. So, ang goal ni first speaker is they will be answering the question card from skua.pages.dev. Let me open that muna. Yan. It's very similar katong card activity na nahimo na ko. It's just it's a quest like parang ano lang siya, random set of questions. So once again, the first speaker will be answering the first question. So would you like to live abroad? And then mag-share lang siya. Si second speaker, ang goal ni second speaker will be asking some follow-up questions, at least 2. So kaya would you like to live abroad? Ay, dili ba ako gusto? Now, si third speaker, dapat niya ma-identify ang nag-use si first speaker ng negative language. So, di ba nag-ana si first speaker, dili lang ko. So, i-call out ni third speaker si first speaker. And ang himuon ni first speaker is try to rephrase it na mas positive siya. So, instead of dili lang ko, I'd rather live here in Davao City. So, di ba? from negative na dili into positive na mas piliin lang daw niya ang Davao. So, and ang ano lang po ni second speaker is to keep the conversation going and mag-ask siya at least 2 na follow-up questions. Ganito. So after 2 minutes or maybe 3 minutes, we will do some like i-switch na tong roles. So katong first speaker siya ng third speaker, ang second speaker maging first, ang third maging second. So kato. Any questions? Once again, ang kaning question card is skua.pages.dev. Sige, is everyone ready? Kung wala na questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, form your groups na. So, I'll be going over sa spaces to check. So, for the people na naa sa virtual or nasa tong virtual office, feel free to use the tables. Those are private rooms ang tawag sa gather. So, pag mag-group mo together dito, kamera pod magdungoganay. So, within the team gather and ang team HQ, discussing you what form of negative language did you notice during the exercise. The next question is, was it difficult to talk only using positive language? And lastly is, what is the benefit of only using positive language? So, kato, muna po ninyo hang murag i-discuss. And I'll be giving you at least 3 minutes to talk about all of these guide questions. Sige, go guys. So yeah, I want to highlight na when we communicate and na briefly discuss po din ni Kuya JC sa last town hall, na ay messenger, na ay sender, receiver, and the channel or medium that we use. So, kung narata diri sa office, it's our voice. Pero if we are working from home or if we're working remotely, we use other channels like Mattermost, emails, or Jira. And this model is what they call linear transmission, but this is quite outdated kay it's very linear. One way lang siya, and it doesn't recognize or highlight the interaction na involved with communication. So, na-highlight po din ni Kuya JC na in this newer model na ay feedback channel, and it take into account the physical context and the psychological context. So, in this model, ang physical context is katong constraint sa physical, like sa location. And ang psychological naman is katong na-experience sa person. Like, kung stress siya, pag stress ang person, it could affect how he or she was able to encode his or her message, or how he or she was able to decode tong feedback na nakuha niya. And more recent na model is communication is integrated in our social realities. What this means is communication is just not a transfer of message, but also building relationship with other people. And we appeal na diri ato mga cultural context. For example, when we communicate, na ay influence if the speaker is our client, is our customer. Compare ni mo na imong kastorya lang kay si Orly lang imong kastorya. So, di ba na siya influence on how we co-create the meanings of the words being said. So, I hope that makes sense. So, yun, we just don't communicate to exchange meanings, but we also build relationships with our co-communicator, atong kastorya. We engage in a dialogue to create a community, to create or actually to shape our self-concept pod, atong branding sa ilaha. So, how we talk to them, we're portraying it in a way na gusto nimo na makita na image sa ilaha pod. So, kani ang merg model, medyo mas complex na siya, pero I'm trying to lang po na when we communicate, dagag factors na naga-influence on the communication. And in that way, effective communication is very complex because communication itself is complex na pod, as I shown in the previous model. But we can make it effective when we do the following. The message is received, comprehended clearly, and purposefully. So when it comes to effective communication, both parties should understand each other, what was the meaning being said, being received, and once na na-receive yon, it should have been parang nasabtan in a way na there is an action afterwards. It could be a feedback, it could be an afterthought, it could be an actual action point. So unfortunately, it's not easy to make things effective right away because yun, there are barriers that affect it. So, for example, physical conditions. So, when we're just chatting through Mattermost, expected na di ka makakuha agad ng feedback agad because you're not sure if the message was received, much more so kung na-comprehend siya clearly or purposefully. So sa semantics, na po yung mga na-bring up dito sa form ni Kuya JC na ay mga jargons na dili ma-reach well between FE and between BE and FE. So na yung mga terms na dili masabtan, so comprehension na dili or because of that dili effective tong communication. And pag ano naman po, information overload and credibility. So credibility kung kinsa tong nagastorya. So if it's someone na you don't really trust, like if it's just a scammer, like you don't wanna receive that message. Okay. And then pag information overload, actually I'll be diving here more than later, pero when it's too much information, atong cognitive load sa brain kay mag-stop and will not process the information. So kato ang mga some of the barriers sa atong effective communication. So before going into each of these points, so i-highlight na ko ning top 3 na challenges experience, or at least that was reported or shared by our team members. So KJC asked the following question: what is the biggest communication challenge you face in your daily work, and how do you think it could be improved? And I'm happy to see na the responses have some parang some sort of resolution or suggestion on improving that. Pero hindi ko na siya in-include for this presentation. I just want to highlight the top 3. So the first one is the lack of responsiveness or yung delayed na responses. Next is kaning unclear and insufficient information in the messages. So nadiri to mga ambiguities, unsureness. So definitely familiar pud mo ane. And lastly, information overload or cluttered communication channels. So as I mentioned, we're dealing with a lot of information, mga God, especially in our line of work, in like the access to internet sad. So this is one of the issues na face sa atong mga team members. So I'll be going over each points and I'll be providing some suggestions for improvement. What are the challenges that are commonly faced by our team members? And I've listed the top 3. So once again, lack of responsiveness and delayed responses. So I think I don't have to define each of these na since they're straightforward naman, but I want to highlight its impact on the team. So first of all, from the forms na rin, there is frustration when this happens or when someone experiences this. Because it causes delays in the progress of individual's task or the whole project as a whole, di ba? And because of this, nami-misalign yung mga priorities. Instead of working on this stuff right away, just waiting for this one reply, but because the other communicator is not responsive, mag-iba na lang yung priorities, and this causes yung frustration na experience ng team members. And because of this, nadi-decrease yung trust and morale, because if someone is not really responsive as they're intended to be, in terms of their credibility, as I mentioned, one of the barriers, it affects their credibility as a communicator, as a team member, working on the same project, working on the same task. So, is is someone comfortable to share what do they think causes this lack of response or this delay? Anyone? Does anyone have any idea? Sige. It's okay. Um, para din sa mga people in the virtual office, feel free to like add din sa chat ano yung mga ideas ninyo. I can only assume or some share some instances, but um, one thing is yun, hindi na align or hindi na prioritize yung communication, and they tend to like mute some channels so they can work or focus on some tasks. And actually, based on my research naman, these are being practiced in different company. They encourage people to do some focus mode. So they mute notifications, they mute their communication channel so they can focus on the work. That's one thing, but in our company, we set that we should be responsive online and available between 10:30 to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. So, as an HR na pod, I want to highlight na as much as possible, we set this policies so we avoid this lack of responsiveness from our team members. Yun. And then, in case na you are gonna be unavailable during that time frame, we have a dedicated availability status channel to notify our team members na we're gonna, or at least our responsiveness will be affected. So I want to highlight and emphasize lang on this because this has been a recurring issue. And aside from that, from the form responses pod, um, the lack of responsiveness like has a high number of parang or like a lot of team members experience or noted this as one of their biggest challenge when communicating with the team members. So another reason or another maisip ko na cause for the lack of responsiveness is we have not set some or we have not established communication guidelines. So ang goal ko at this end of the program is to get feedback from everyone by letting them create a communication code that they think could be applied in the company. So I'll be going over that later. So yun, before yung activity na yun, I'll proceed with the next point, which is unclear or insufficient information in messages. So its impact to the team member, misunderstanding and misalignment. When our messages are full of ambiguity, it's very hard to grasp ano yung message, ano yung intended message. And as I mentioned, um, effective communication is about the message being received and comprehended properly and purposefully. And if there's ambiguity, those are not met. That means if our messages, the way we send information to our team members are full of ambiguity, then it's not an effective communication. And because of that, back and forth, while follow-up questions are good, yung mga back and forth na communication adds or delays, causes delays and adds friction sa pag-transfer ng mga information. And because of ambiguity, this causes a lot of error in the way we do our task in our work. And yun, same thing. If a communicator is very ambiguous when they tell a message, when they send an information or details, then it is frustrating, understandably. So, ayun. I've mentioned those models of communication para mabalikan ninyo na aha na context, aha na disposition tong communicator pod, socially, emotionally, culturally, na naka-contribute aning mga miscommunication. So, kato lang pud akong ano, definitely there are other reasons na dili na ko ma-tackle right away because I don't wanna assume, char. But yun, I wanna avoid ambiguity then when discussing this stuff, char. Ayun. But some practices could help us or some framework can help us prevent kaning unclear or mga maghatag kag ambiguity to our team members. So I'll be showing some video from the YouTube discussing these points. So, oh no, nag-load pa siya. Okay, so this is by Tom Scott rather. Tom Scott, Hidden Rules of Conversation. So, oh no.
Vegan burgers are a sensible thing to find on the supermarket shelf.
The Gratian Maxim. So, yun. It works on a four parang assumptions na everyone should be delivering this or following this one. So when you say the Gratian maxim of quantity, you should provide enough information but not too much. So once again, yung this solve one of yung issue yung insufficient information. So just provide enough information. No, not too much, not too little. I believe I would assume na nanaan mo yung experience na when you ask someone tapos maghatag sa too much information na like girl, it's not necessary na. So yun violate niyo yung maximum of quantity. Next, for the quality, it should be true and evidence based. So kung mag-ask ang person tapos like they're not telling you the truth, then they're violating the maximum of quality. Everything you say, especially when it's related to work, it should be truthful. It should be based on evidence, based on the facts and numbers. And then for the relevance, yun, stay on topic and provide context as much as possible. This also solve yung issue related sa information overload. There are a lot of things. When you say client, are you referring to customer or are you referring to a device client? Yun. So, depending on the context, dapat mas ma-establish or re-establish to avoid um, violating the maxims. And then the manner, be clear, avoid ambiguity, be brief and orderly. So when it's about manner, it's how you deliver your message across. So it shouldn't be sarcastic pag work related. Pero kung nagara lang mo, then you can flout the maxim with your like kagara-gara. Pero when it comes to work, it should be in a professional manner. Ayun. So once again, the Gratian maxim, quantity, quality, relevance, and manner. And I think na it's very straightforward pod. But does any one of you have some questions? Yes, Kuya G. That's a good question. So, I'm answering this not as Gratian Maxim professional or like I'm not really a linguistic, pero from what I can ano kay G, um, it's definitely hard. Ang important ani is to get feedback siguro. Kana akong best answer na mahatag. If you're unsure if you provide less or more information, then maybe you can ask. And I think it's an avenue pod sa other communicator na, oy, girl, marag, dagan na kay kagingon sa ko. I don't need those information na. Or, may marag, kulang pa, can I ask for more from you? So, yun, as mentioned then by Tom Scott, it's not like you have to follow jud ni siya. Definitely, it's hard to be perfect, but try to be mindful on how you deliver your message across. Kadto akong no? And utilize katong feedback kay yun as I mentioned, for communication is not just a one linear thing, it's a multimodal thing kato. Does that answer your question, kid? Okay, thank you. How about the rest? Any questions? Sige. If none, I'll proceed. Another parang framework that I personally use, and I was trained for this. I'll provide context siguro why I'm sharing this. I was trained to parang answer some mga political stuff. I share ko lang, I parang ran for a council position in my university, pero ay my college rather, so kadto. Isa ni sa mga training na ako na I find very valuable because it frames the quest or it frames your message in a very logical way, in a very, how should I say this? Nawala to kong notes. Pero it's a structured, very structured in a way na there's a there's a past, present, future, kumbaga na framing of the message. So we call this the CPA framework: context, position or present, then action. Yun, it just structured your messaging in a logical order and also helps reduce some misunderstanding and reduces the need for follow-ups. Why? When you provide context, you clear up some ambiguity. And then when you, especially it helps support your position or the present or the present stuff that you are saying. And lastly, action is like you are also inciting parang response or feedback from the other person. So here's an example that I was able to prepare. Kana. Context, again, provide background information. So this is like a Kutay 9 discussion on the PM software that they're gonna be using for the transformation project. So mag-provide sa context si updater na last week we discussed updating our or like changing our project management software. And what is happening now on unsay ang gibuhat, unsay ang present or position. So we've narrowed down our options to 3 platforms that fit our needs and our requirements. And now mag-suggest siya or mag-request siya og next action. So please review the attached comparison document and your vote by Friday at 3 p.m. So this is very simple, no? I would say na some of us just follow this without knowing the framework itself. Pero I just want to highlight this because I really think na this, if you frame your messages in this way, it could help you become an effective communicator. So, kato. Yun. It's a very simple framework, CPA, very easy to remember, but I think it's powerful and useful. Yun. What do you think, guys? Sige, I think you'll get to exercise this more in our second activity. Another, kato, like na-ask ni Kuya G, what if daw you're not following maxim of quantity? So, ang best way dito is getting feedback. And the best way to get feedback pod is to really listen to the person what they're saying. Sometimes, sige, kanya lang. Sige. So, yun. Active listening really helps. I would say na it helps unclear or resolve being unclear or insufficient, getting insufficient information by like giving a space to get more information from the person and then dito pa ka mag-ask og question. Sige, ano na lang. I was quite unclear with how I delivered that, so ipa-play na lang ako ng music para mas na-ay clarity. The point I'm trying to say across to everyone is sometimes to clear some ambiguity, you just have to listen or let the other people speak muna before you go into like getting reply or responding right away. It's an opportunity to give safe space for the other communicator to just like empty the bucket, as you mentioned, yeah, empty the bucket, and then when you do that, the other person has a safe, parang a better space to listen back your feedback. So, this is just one of my parang suggestions. I won't go over this not since I am trying to catch some time then. But yun, to recap what I've mentioned. So for the lack of responsiveness, my proposed solution would that be an internal communication code, which will be an activity later. And for the unclear and insufficient information na problem, I presented 3 solutions for that. So the Grecian matrix or the Grecian maxims rather, the CPA framework, and lastly the active listening. I'll be proceeding with the third na problem. So, information overload or cluttered communication channels. So, I I think this how many okay, ito question. How many channels are you included in the Mattermost? Including to mga different server. Quite a lot, right? So, this is very understandable and gets bakit one of the top problems siya. And its impact if dagan kay information na we're dealing with. So, we will have difficulty in prioritizing unsa to mga important na information, matabunan to mga important na information. Yun, ma-miss na to mga critical updates or deadlines. And it's a stressful thing to see 20, 30, 50 message channels or messages from different channels. So, yun, as I mentioned, if people get overwhelmed o ma-overload sila, they tend to shut down their brain and dili na sila mag-engage. So, yun. Some suggestions. This is really ano pod, I would say important when we proceed with the transformation project. Let's try to audit the existing channels. Dito to mga redundant. Dito to mga or unsa pa mga channels na important and wala pa at the moment. Next is to clearly define the purpose of the channel. Why did we make this channel? Like why did we have secret Overwatch ops na channel? Like huh? And then so other than that, establish po na to how should we use this communication mode. So kung tahay for Mattermost, are we do we want to keep it using for quick updates for like mga daily or like stand up Raven, or do we prefer email for like mga code reviews or other tasks na to. So yun, isa siya sa mga big suggestions at the moment. And lastly is create a guide, and yun, create a guide on which channel to use, different types of communication. Another suggestion is to use a tiered information system. So, this is practice man po sa mga emails, pero like when you send a big message, big information, magbahatag ka og subject na summarizes everything, and then pwede na follow up na lang to mga granular details. So, I think this is important po when you do or as suggested if you do PRs, di ba, better if i-break down nimo siya into granular kay kung daghan pud kaayo, it could be overwhelming. So, and if na may mga announcement kato, suggested na you make a headliner, then ang mga granular details i-summarize na lang nimo or i-bullet points nimo. And then yun, when it comes to cluttered communication channel, best to identify unsang mga mas urgent. So, impact, di ba, with like very overloaded or different channels kay makalimot unsang priorities, unsang i-prioritize. So, best for the communicator to identify unsahiyahang priority system or unsahiyahang urgency. And then lastly, mag-create og mga dedicated channels for announcements, especially for mga big teams. So that's it. Yun yung mga discussion on the top communication problems within the team, and then some suggestion that I presented. Definitely these are not one band-aid solution, like one solution for all. But hopefully at least what I presented in this discussion could help us alleviate some of those problems. And yeah, and that's it for this Para moving forward again, recommendations. So I didn't really touch into the technical na communication aspects. So kunyari, between back end and front end, between designers and front end. And other thing is yung client communication. So ang ano ko nito is there could be some sort of protocol then on how we interact with our customers and mga preferred channels and yung response time. Like a communication code dedicated or how we communicate with our customers. So, but yeah, as Irvin has sum it up, um, when we to become effective communicators, we have to ensure that the message has been received, um, properly understood, and there's an action na parang kaakibat doon. And I hope from this program, you got some points on how to improve your communication skills. As we are gonna implement the communication code in the future, we're hoping to see improvements in our responsiveness, clarity of our communication, and being a proactive communicator. So, yon. Um, a bigger goal nito is not just to become a good communicator, but to become a organization that communicates and collaborate well. So with that, thank you again for joining this afternoon, and see you in the next tidbits. So thank you guys.